Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Merry Christmas. Oh my goodness. I was so excited to see that my upload day would fall on Christmas this year. I hope you guys are having the best day wherever you are. I'm excited to spend today with you during this video. And if you can't tell by the title, we are going to be talking about the best makeup from the drugstore of 2018. Now, this is just my personal favorites from the year. This does not necessarily mean that everything is going to be something that launched this year. There are several things that did come out this year that I have just fallen in love with, but it's just basically all the things that really stand out to me, the things that I go back to time and time again, the things that I always recommend to you guys, to my friends, to my family. These are the things that I cannot live without. And so I'm so excited to go through everything. I'm going to go through everything in categories, starting with brows, and we're going to move to concealer, foundation, all that kind of stuff until we end with setting spray. I had so many favorite products this year that I'm actually splitting up my best of 2018 products into 3 videos. Coming later this week will be my high-end makeup, and then I also have a bonus video this week that's going to be all about hair, skin, and nail products. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. Let's get right into it. Starting off with brows, my favorite brow pencils from the drugstore would have to be the CoverGirl Microfine and Define pencil. This really allows me to get those nice fine hair-like strokes. I love the formula of this. I wish it was a little bit more long-lasting. I'm still on the hunt for a super long-lasting one, but I love the result of my brows that I get with this pencil. So I wanted to talk about that one. I also love the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Shape and Fill pencil. This one is a little different because it has more of a triangular tip, so it's really good for filling in your brows super quickly. I also love the formula of this one. This one does last longer than the CoverGirl one, but I like the microfine tip of the CoverGirl one, so I almost wish that there was a hybrid between the two. That would be my ideal brow pencil from the drugstore, but I wanted to talk about these because these are standout products as far as brows goes from the drugstore. I have 2 brow gels I want to talk about. One of them is Colourpop. Oh, keep in mind, you guys, there are some Colourpop items in here. I know that Colourpop isn't technically sold at like Walmart or drugstores, but it is affordable. It is at some Ultas in some ways, like certain products are. So I am talking about Colourpop in this video if there is a category where Colourpop needs to be mentioned. So I've been really into the Colourpop Brow Boss Gel for kind of a boy brow dupe. This is actually what I'm wearing through my brows today. It doesn't hold my brows super long, but it gives it that texture, and I really love it. And for the price, it's worth having. I really like it, so I wanted to mention that. I have another favorite brow gel. This is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set Brow Mascara. This is a clear brow mascara, and I just feel like it does a really good job at setting the brows as well. I love the spoolie on it. It really just gets in between the little brow hairs and creates a nice feathery look, as you can see. Those are my brow products. I know that's not a ton of brow products, but to be honest, I'm still kind of on the hunt for the perfect brow products from the drugstore. That's one category that I feel like I haven't really nailed yet, but I did want to share my very favorites with you in case you were looking for a recommendation. Moving on to primers. The first primer that I absolutely love is the Maybelline Master Prime Hydrate and Smooth. Oh dear, you guys, obviously. We're off to a great start. Okay, it's the Hydrate and Smooth Primer. I better hang on to this before it falls out of my hands again. The thing I like about this is it kind of provides that hydration and smoothness, hence the name. But sometimes I feel like I have dry skin, but I also want that nice kind of poreless finish. So this is a really good go-to primer for me. It's my favorite one from the drugstore. Well, these are all my favorites. I can't really say one is my favorite, but it's my go-to when I feel like I need both hydration and smoothness. So I love that one. I also love the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This is more of a recent find. Well, I tried it out for the first time earlier this year because of you guys, and now, like right now, I'm loving it. I love how this creates a really nice smoothing effect on the skin as well. I usually focus this on the T-zone after putting something a little more hydrating on top. I just love it. It makes every single one of my foundations look way better. This is an absolute staple in my routine. It's a little bit of a higher price point for what you get, but I still feel like it's worth every penny, and honestly, it really makes any foundation look that much better. So this is a must-have for me. Another primer that I loved this year was the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. If you're someone who likes the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, which is a very popular primer, I personally love that one. This is kind of a similar product. It does a very similar thing. It will just kind of add that radiance and glow underneath your foundation. I don't think it's very hydrating, but if you really like the look of a glow and you want it to be more natural and you want it to peek underneath your foundation, this is an awesome illuminating primer to go for in the drugstore. So the last primer that I've been loving from the drugstore is the Flower Beauty Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir. And this is a really great facial oil. So if you're super dry or if you want extra illumination and hydration, this is a really great option. Look how beautiful it looks in the bottle. There are obvious pieces of glitter in this, but once you apply it to the skin, I never notice like a super glittery finish. I feel like somehow it disappears. This is just a really beautiful facial oil. It's gorgeous on your vanity and it's something that I have been absolutely loving. All right, so next up is concealers. My first pick is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is a product that has been around forever, but I still stand by it. I clearly loved it this year. It is so, so good. I always have two shades of concealer, one for highlighting the under eye area and one for covering blemishes. This is so foolproof. It really does erase dark circles. It leaves your under eyes looking so smooth, and it's just a go-to. It's a staple. I'm obsessed. I love it. I don't think I'll ever stop loving that concealer. For something a little bit more lightweight, I love the Maybelline Fit Me concealers. I also have two shades in this. This is something that's a little bit more of a watery consistency. It's really great for medium to full coverage concealing if that's what you're into. It's so good. It looks like skin, blends out like a dream. It is beautiful. So I love that one as well. I also have been loving the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This is also one that's very good at smoothing the under eye area. This is a very, very full coverage concealer, but I love it. It also lasts all day underneath the eyes. And then the last concealer that I discovered this year that I absolutely love is the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is supposed to be a waterproof concealer. I have still not tested that out yet. I don't know if it's waterproof, but I do know that it gives great coverage. It's also something that's going to really brighten the under eye area. It lasts all day underneath my eyes, and I love it to also prime the eyelids for eyeshadow. So this is an amazing concealer. Really affordable. Obviously this whole video is affordable, but I just love when I find great products that have a great price attached to it. Moving on to foundations. I know I'm kind of moving quickly here, but I don't want to make this video like 3 hours long. It could be 3 hours long if I was chatting about every single thing I love about these products, but I feel like I found so many great foundations this year at the drugstore, and I reviewed so many, and so many were so beautiful, but I really wanted to narrow it down to my very favorite, my tried and true, the ones I keep going back to. The first one I want to talk about is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I can't stop talking about this. I can't stop wearing it. It's actually the foundation that I'm wearing today all over my skin. It is just so good. That was a lot of so's. The way it blends out over my skin is just beautiful. I love the coverage. It gives a buildable coverage, but it still looks like skin in my opinion. It lasts all day on the skin. It looks beautiful. It's not too drying, yet it's not too dewy. It's just that perfect in between in my opinion. I love this so much. The only thing I would change is maybe the applicator, and the smell of it is not my favorite. But other than that, it's so good. I can't stop wearing it and I keep returning to it. The CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation is another foundation that I have absolutely been loving this year. This one's really good if you want a more matte skin look. Less is more with this foundation. I personally really love to use it over top of something really hydrating, and then I just like to use a buffing brush and just kind of lightly buff the foundation over my skin. I don't build it up too much. I find that this way it looks the best and it also lasts the longest. So I love this one if you're looking for something a little more matte. The shade range is also incredible with this foundation, so if you've had a problem in the past finding your shade at the drugstore, I know it can be a little bit of a struggle. It's hard to find your foundation shade at the drugstore sometimes. This one has an amazing shade range, so if you haven't been able to find one yet, check this one out for the shade range, and also the formula is beautiful. This year I also discovered the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation, another foundation that is so beautiful. It really does leave your skin looking like you're kind of candlelit. I love the name Light Illusion because it really does look so glowy, so dewy, but this also lasts beautifully on the skin. I really love this one. It's been a staple in my drugstore foundation collection, I guess, pretty much for the entire year, at least since I tried it out. The packaging is beautiful on this as well, and I love how there's a pump. 5 stars all around. This foundation is a little bit more of a recent discovery, but I wanted to put it in this video because I love the finish. It is unbelievable. It's the Catrice Cosmetics HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. The finish of this, seriously, when I first applied this, I still remember, I was absolutely blown away at the coverage, and the finish is so beautiful. It's so flawless. So this is a really great go-to for special occasions when I want my skin to look very, very flawless. It's not my most favorite foundation as far as an all-day wear goes, but it's one of the most beautiful foundations I've ever seen upon application and for the first few hours. I think it's so beautiful. There's a bug in here. Where did it go? Oh no. Anyways, I have loved this foundation and I feel like it deserved a spot in this video. So the last foundation I want to talk about is the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I got so much use out of this foundation this year. This is also one of the most beautiful foundations I have ever seen on the skin, high-end and drugstore included. This is gorgeous. If you're somebody who likes a more light to medium buildable coverage, definitely pick this up at the drugstore. It is so stunning and I've loved it for just that skin-like finish, and I also really enjoyed it during the summertime. I think it's so pretty. I'm actually in need of another one. I've kind of gone through this. I will just take my foundation brush and dip it directly into the cushion and go ahead and buff it all over my skin. It is beautiful. Highly recommend it. If you haven't tried this yet, you definitely should. It's so good for every day and it's gorgeous. Alright, so moving on to powders. My favorite translucent loose powder of the year is the No. 7 Translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. This is the only loose powder that I wanted to share in this video because I feel like it just tops all of the other ones. Don't get me wrong, there are so many great ones from the drugstore, but this video I just really wanted to narrow it down to my very favorite. And this is it. I've been using this in pretty much every single drugstore tutorial that I've done over the past few months, and I just love how it smooths the under eye area. It makes my makeup last all day. I love the formula. It's just so good. It competes with my high-end powders, to be honest. I think it's so beautiful and love that it's an affordable product. For a pressed powder that does such an amazing job at brightening the under eyes, I still love. I know I've talked about this so many times. It's the NYX HD Finishing Powder. This is in the shade Banana. I will take my sponge and directly dip it into the pan and go ahead and press it underneath my eyes after I've done concealer. It brightens, it smooths, it looks amazing, it perfects. Oh my gosh, it's just everything. All of my friends and family who have picked this up always tell me how much they love it. It is so good and it's something that I will never get rid of. I just love it. I will always keep replacing this. Such a good pressed powder, especially if you struggle with dark circles and you need a little help brightening the under eye area. The last powder I want to talk about is this one. It's in a Ziploc bag because the packaging is horrible and I broke the lid. So it's the Rimmel Stay Matte Transparent Powder. If you guys didn't know, this is my favorite powder for setting the T-zone after I've sprayed it. You know, it's like my final makeup step. This keeps my oils at bay better than any powder I've ever tried. Any mattifying powder, any pressed mattifying powder. Anyway, it is so beautiful. I love this. It goes with me everywhere. I don't even care if the lid's broken. I will put it in a Ziploc bag and it's coming with me, you know what I mean? You need this in your life. It is so beautiful, and make sure that it's the transparent one. They have several that look just like this, so make sure you're flipping it over and it should say 001 transparent. Love this so much. Moving on to bronzers, of course the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is the best at the drugstore. I love this so much, as you can see. I just love how it looks on the skin. It's a perfect color for both contouring and bronzing at the same time. The finish is beautiful. It blends out like a dream, smells like a dream. I've talked about this so much, so let's move on. I also discovered the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It Bronzer this year. This is a bronzer that I did not expect to love this much. I saw it in the store and the color was kind of unique. I thought that it was gonna look a little bit kind of dingy on my skin, but it doesn't. It somehow contours and warms the face up just like the Physicians Formula one does. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, which I absolutely love. It's not sparkly, but it just adds such a beautiful glow to the skin while contouring and adding that warmth back. So it's so beautiful. I love how large the pan is. You guys probably know how much I already love this because I use it so much. So for a more warm toned bronzer, I love the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This one is for lighter skin, it says. It's like breaking in the center. I don't know what's going on here. This one smells really good as well, but I love this layered on top of this one, especially for kind of like a more contour with this. Like I like to shape my face with this. And then if I feel like I need a little bit more of a warm tone, I will go in with this one. It's so beautiful. It's from Essence, so it's extremely affordable. It's just a few dollars. And I've gotten so much use out of it this year. It's so good. It's so beautiful. I've also really been into kind of more luminous bronzers to layer on top. And the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade 05 Soleil has been a staple for me. I love how this is a little bit more radiant, as I was saying. I don't know if you can even see it swatched. Can you see that? Kind of. Maybe I'll try to add a little bit of bronzer. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. Anyway, sometimes if I feel like I need a little bit more of a glow to the skin, I like to layer this over top of a matte bronzer, or you can use it alone depending on what you want, but I just love the undertone of it. It truly looks like I've been out in the sun. It's It's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite luminous bronzers ever, and the fact that it's from the drugstore makes it that much better. Let's move on to blushes. For blushes this year, Flower Beauty takes the cake for me. I love their Flower Pots blushes. I have two shades. Oh, that's upside down. This one is called Sweet Pea, and it's so beautiful. And I also have Peach Primrose, which is also very beautiful. But I love the formula of these. They're just nice and matte, staple, foolproof blushes. There's a couple other colors that I'm really dying to pick up, but I've just noticed that these are so foolproof and I've gotten so much use out of them. They definitely deserve some recognition, and I think they're some of the best blushes ever, and the fact that they're from the drugstore again makes it that much better. Flower Beauty also makes these blush bombs. If you're into a cream blush and you like a little bit more of a sheen or hydrated look to your cheeks, check these out. They are so beautiful. They even apply really well over powder, which was something that I was kind of nervous about when I first tried these out. I have two shades. I want to get more. I have Pinched and Nectar. I want to get some of the bright pink shades. I think that would be so pretty. But if you want something that's just going to give life to the skin and it's going to kind of bring that glow back with a little bit of color, these are beautiful. I think they're so fun. The packaging is great on these as well. So for highlighter, I have one highlighter that I'm going to talk about. There were so many highlighters that I tried from the drugstore. There were several that were beautiful, but this one, you guys probably know what I'm going to say anyway, because I talk about it so much. This one just can't be replaced. I can't find anything better. It's the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is the highlighter that I'm wearing today. It just, it is so good. It's one of my favorite highlighters of all time. This is probably going to be in my yearly favorites video forever, unless something comes out that tops this from the drugstore, but I highly doubt it at this point. I don't know. This is just so, so good. If you're into a really subtle kind of lit from within glow, this is your go-to. You need to get this. There's also a deeper shade that they released this year. I haven't tried that out, but if you have a more medium to deep skin tone, and this has been a little bit too light for you, check out the second shade because that's also very beautiful. It has the same formula and you'll be able to get that same lit from within effect. So for eyeshadows this year, oh my goodness, I absolutely fell in love with all of the Milani eyeshadow palettes, okay? I have all four right now. My favorite though, my favorite one is Pure Passion. Look at the color story on this. It's so beautiful, and I got so much use out of it this year. I love that one for just a good warm tone look. There's also Soft and Sultry if you're into a more smoky eye. That's a great one. Most Loved Mattes is great for those of you who like to wear matte, because look at that. It's an all matte palette. This is a great one to have if you need like some transition shades or if you just like to wear mattes like me. That's a great one. Bold Obsessions is kind of a little bit of everything in my opinion. You can kind of get that red, warm toned eye look. You can also do something really smoky. It's just a great palette all around. The price is right. I love these. These are about $15 at Walmart. They look so beautiful. The packaging is great. They look so high end. There's a weight to them. They just feel luxurious. I can't stop raving about these. I will forever love them. And I can't wait to see if they make more palettes in 2019 because I'm going to be so excited to pick them up. I really hope they make a colorful one. I think that would be so fun. So this next palette technically came out last year, but I don't think I mentioned it in my yearly favorites because it was a recent release. I got so much use out of it though this year and I wanted to mention it. It's the Kathleen Lights Colourpop Dream Street palette. This is so beautiful. It's one of my favorite palettes that I own. The formula is so good and then the color story is also beautiful. You can do so many things. The colors are so unique. I feel like it's a palette that you can add to your collection and you're not going to have a ton of the same shades. Do you know what I mean? With every brand releasing so many things, I feel like it's really important to find those palettes that are really worth adding to your collection, and this is one of those palettes for me. Kathleen did an amazing job on this palette and I can't get enough of it. There's another Colourpop palette that I can't get enough of. Colourpop releases things all the time, and these two palettes that I'm going to talk about have been my personal favorites from the year. This is a more recent one, but I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's the Good Sport palette, and I'm actually wearing this on the eyes along with a high-end palette that I will talk about in my high-end video. But I feel like the color story is so beautiful. Again, this is a palette that is so affordable, and it's just one of those things that it actually adds to my collection, you know? Like, I don't own shades like this. This is the only palette that has this many unique shades in it, all in one palette. Does that make sense? I love it. I got so much use out of this one. I love the Dream Street one. These are my two favorite palettes from Colourpop for sure. I really wanted to mention this palette right here because Makeup Revolution became one of my favorite brands this year. I love the quality of their products. I think it's just so affordable. It's so beautiful. I love the packaging. The display at Ulta is also stunning, but the Emily Edit palette is one of my favorite ones from Makeup Revolution. I love the color story here. You get your jewel tones, you get your neutrals, you get your lavenders. I just feel like it's a beautiful palette. There's also a beautiful mirror in it, and the packaging is stunning as well. The price is right on this too. The formula is beautiful. I just think it's an all-around wonderful palette, and I love that you can create so many looks out of one palette without spending an arm and a leg, you know? This is definitely a must-have in my opinion. All right, we're moving on to mascaras. I have 4 mascaras that I wanted to talk about from the drugstore. The first one being Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. I look for the same thing in mascaras. I love a mascara that's going to give me volume, and this does the trick. I also love mascaras that don't flake and smudge. This doesn't do that. I really love this one. I also love the Kokie Cosmetics Volume and Length Mascara. This is also a beautiful one. It's buildable. It kind of gives that volume like I always look for, and it's just so good. I love that one as well. These last two are like my staples though. Like these are my favorites. The L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara gives me the biggest lashes ever. I love this. You guys know I've used it forever, and I will forever continue to use it. It's just the best. I love this one because I love massive lashes. Like I go to that one when I'm doing a really bold eye. And the last one is also very voluminous. It's the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara. This is a mascara that I didn't try until this year, I believe. It's been around for a very long time. So many people have used this and loved it. I just never got around to trying it, and I love this one. It gives such massive volume while still separating the lashes. It's just so good to build up a beautiful separated voluminous lash look. If you want something that's going to be a little more clumpy, go with this one. I personally love a little clump on my lashes. To be honest, I think it's so pretty. But if you like a little bit more separation and you still want that volume, go with this one. It is so good. So the lip category was definitely the hardest for me to like try to narrow down my favorites, but I have them here. The first one I want to talk about is a gloss. It's the Kathleen Lights Colourpop Moonchild Gloss. I'm wearing this on my lips right now. I think it's my favorite nude gloss ever. I think it's the best nude lip gloss I've ever tried. I am going to swatch these for you guys. So there it is on my hand right here. It is so good. I can't get enough of this gloss. I need to buy like 5 bottles just in case they like stop selling them or something. I need to have backups because it's my favorite. Another lipstick that I love this year is the L'Oreal Color Riche matte lipstick in the shade All Out Pout. This is such a good formula. It's a nice, comfortable matte. It's kind of got a little bit of a purple undertone to it, which is my personal favorite. I think it's very flattering on the lips, and I can't get enough of this one. If you want just a nice, comfortable matte lipstick, this shade is so good, and the formula is also very good. One of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas of all time is actually from the drugstore, and that is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Lip liquid lipsticks. I have a few shades here, well, 3 shades. I'm just going to show you. I actually love the whole range, but I'll just show you a couple so you can get an idea. The first one is this one right here. It's called All Natural Nude. For a little bit of a pop of color, this one is Tulip Treatment. It's kind of more of a pinky red. And then for a true red, I have the Fight Free Reticles, which is this one right here, and it's also very, very beautiful. Honestly, you guys, the packaging is beautiful on these, and the formula is amazing. Seriously, it's one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas. Does not feel too dry on the lips. It lasts all day. It doesn't get weird throughout the day. I love these. This next one is more for shade than formula. To me, it's a little bit of a drying formula, but I still wear it because of the shade. This is the Milani liquid lipstick in the shade Adorable, and it is adorable. Here it is right here. It's kind of a mauve-y nude, which I love. It looks very similar to the L'Oreal one, but of course it's a different formula. I love this one so much. It's gorgeous on the lips, you guys. It is so pretty. So another lip product that I've absolutely loved this year is the NYX Butter Gloss. This is in the shade Tiramisu. I know this is not a new product. A lot of you guys have used it because it was actually recommended to me by you guys, but I love it. I'm running out of room. There it is on my hand. I love the formula. It has a really nice color payoff, but it's not sticky, which I personally really love. So this is beautiful, and I love the shade. So thank you guys for recommending this to me this year because I have gotten so much use out of it. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the Flower Beauty Hydra Silk Ultimate Lip Butters, but I was on their website, and I don't know if they're discontinuing it or not, or what's going on, but they took it off of Ulta, so I'm hoping that they don't get rid of it because this is the most beautiful nude color ever, and it's kind of just like a glossy lip balmy finish. It is so good. I hope they're not discontinuing this because I love this shade so much. It's one of the prettiest nude colors that gives me that really super nude look without washing out my face or without making a weird line in my lips. Does that make sense? I love this so much. And the last lip color is the L'Oreal Color Reshine lipstick in the shade glossy fawn. I got probably the most use out of this. It is divine. It's a color that goes with every single eye look. Here it is right here. It's a very comfortable formula. It's something that you can just throw on. You don't have to worry about it. I'm obsessed with this. It is a staple. It's one of my favorite lip colors of all time. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit to the center of the lips here. Ooh, that is so pretty. I'm obsessed. You just can't beat this. Plus the packaging is beautiful as well. Love it so much. All right, last but not least is setting sprays. I have 3 that I want to talk about, 2 of which are from Flower Beauty. I have really just enjoyed these and I found myself using them a ton this year. It's the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Long Lasting Setting Spray, and I have the hydrating one and the matte finish one. I just really like the applicator on this. Is that what you call it? I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Do you see how fine the mist is? Oh, it's just so good. Every time I've done a drugstore tutorial, I feel like I'm always using this because I feel like these really do give the best results for me and I really love them. The packaging's cute too, which doesn't hurt. I also love the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is the old packaging, but this is a setting spray that is so innovative and I also feel like the formula is really, really good. So I wanted to include it in this video as well because it's just so fun. Look at this. Ah, such a fine mist as well. And a really great setting spray. Aha, we did it. We reached the end, you guys. That is all of my favorite products from the drugstore this year. Please let me know in the comments if there's something that you thought that I would talk about that I didn't, because I wouldn't be surprised if I forgot something. There were just so many products. Also, leave a comment letting me know what your top drugstore product is, or products. It can be multiples if you want to, but I want to know, like, what really made a difference in your routine? Was it something that I also love, or is it something that I've never tried before? Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the other 2 videos of the Best of Beauty. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie. I would love to have you join the family, and you can do so by hitting the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, you can go ahead and click on the bell to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays every single time I post. Merry Christmas. I hope you have an amazing day with your friends and family. I hope you guys know how grateful I am for you. You have made this year so incredible. And I can't wait till next year, you guys. It's going to be an incredible year and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again for watching. I love you all so much and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.